everybody. Welcome to the SyFy Sistas podcast, coming at you live from virtual TrekCon's mini-con. Hello, everybody. I'm Tamia, and I'm joined here today with my sisters Yvette.
Hey, hello.
Sabrina Wood.
Whoop, whoop.
And Fran T.
What's happening, y'all?
Hi, everybody. We're really excited to be here. Thank you, Seventh Rule. We love you. We love you, Chat Pack. Thank you, Ryan and Sirach and Melissa and Anne-Marie Siegel. We love you. We heart you. We heart you so hard. Thank you for asking us to be a part of this awesome event. We've loved all the mini cons. They're super cool. And we're super excited to be here today because we're going to talk our favorite show ever. Our favorite show is Deep Space Nine. I think that comes as no surprise, correct?
Correct.
Affirmative.
It comes as no surprise. We are talking our top 10 Deep Space Nine episodes. Now, this is a collaborative list that SyFy Sistas have made together. So we all have our own individual top 10 list. This list, we try to not kill each other.
Sounded real easy on Monday.
It sure did. Like, oh, let's talk about that. That'll be fun. Yeah. Some of the best episodes of Deep Space Nine ever got one vote. You know, it was really hard.
Really hard. Yeah.
Yvette, what was the process like for you? Let's talk about your process.
Ooh, it was gut-wrenching. I didn't do a very good job, as many of the sisters have told me.
No, she didn't. She really didn't.
It is what it is. As I always say, it is a damn good show. So I don't know what to tell you. You got what, 34 instead of 10? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
We asked for 10. She gave us 34 shows.
I did break it down a little bit. I think.
No. She don't believe the hype, y'all, because
I gave it 28 instead of 10. I don't.
She did an entire season. She included one entire whole season. So there's that. Fran, what's about your process?
Episode 9, the Dominion War. Like, what are we gonna do with that, Yvette?
That's number 3, the Dominion War. The last 10 episodes.
See,
True. That's true.
well, I followed the assignment. After I whittled down to 25 episodes, I had to go in and then whittle up to 10. So, and it wasn't easy because I thought my honorable mention, nobody kind of, wanted to do. And I'm like, oh, come on now, it's a great episode. And so, but I followed the assignments.
Yes, you did. You did.
You were a good girl. I was a good girl. Sabrina was okay.
I gave the instructions.
Sabrina was a really good girl.
I followed my own somewhat.
Wait, they didn't even put him in a
I did not.
No, Sabrina wasn't a really good girl because Sabrina did like some crazy, like woodland, like whatever. But it was very Sabrina though.
Just put 10 on. They weren't in order.
I tried to disperse it so that there was something from each kind of arc, and everybody yelled at me. I was like, here's a Dominion one, here's a Garrick one, and they were like, no, that's not how you do it. So I want you all to know that this is a very good example of why the Black female vote is not monolithic.
Right.
No, so true.
This is very true. Okay, we got 4 sisters and we got 4 very diverse opinions, and somehow we whittled down 173 episodes to 10, and we're going to do it in the next 45 minutes. Go.
Right, exactly. So the way we're going to work this, I mean, for real, she's right, because my initial list had 44 episodes.
Yeah.
It
was ridiculous.
The way we're going to do it is we're going to start at number 10. And I will read a little bit of the recap of the show, and then we'll get into why we think, and we'll let you all know why and how this came to be on the list, and why it might have the place that it has. This one, number 10, is Empok Nor from season 5, episode 24. So, scavenging an abandoned Cardassian space station identical to DS9 for equipment, O'Brien's team discovers the station may not be completely abandoned. This was a contentious one, was it not?
It was.
Very much.
Yeah.
And some people would have put it up much, much higher, right?
Much.
And some people put it down a little bit lower.
Yes.
It's an excellent episode.
Tell us why you would have put it so much higher.
Why I would?
You or Sabrina, either one of you.
Go ahead, Sabrina.
Well, I love this one because, number one, it shows you what we talked about last night and why the other two sisters really didn't like it, or at least one sister, is because Deep Space Nine does something that I don't think a lot of the other franchises did. Well, maybe they did. They could do any kind of genre. And here we have like a pure horror. It is really like an old style movie where you go into the spooky house and people start getting killed. Right. And I thought it was really good that they still brought it into the DS9 world, but it was just really scary. But then it got some really psychological, war trauma things in it too. And that's why I loved it. It was like a real flair for old school horror, but with the DS9 take.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. And I think that's why certain people didn't like it, because it was too much horror. And I think that shows how good it was, that people who don't like horror are like, nope, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Well, that was horrible. That just hit me, okay?
I don't like horror. I've never been in a horror house in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't watch horror movies, and I didn't like it on Deep Space Nine either. I think I've seen this episode maybe twice.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, for what it's worth, it is great because Deep Space Nine is great. However, not my cup of tea as far as Star Trek goes.
I actually love this episode, but I too am not a horror person. So I just choose not to be so scared all the time, but when this episode comes on, I can't not watch it. Right. And that was my criteria for myself personally, for my list, because DS9 is on. I forgot to talk about that. DS9 is on all the time. And, in my house, so even, I might be going around, puttering around, doing other things, but I can hear it in the background. Some shows make me stop what I'm doing and actually sit down and watch them. Right. I have a hard time concentrating on what I'm doing when they're on. That was my criteria. That was finally how I was able to get down from 44 to 10. Yeah.
Somebody's asking me if I like Viking zombies. Yes, I love alien Viking, no Viking zombies. Vulcan zombies,
Vulcan.
Come on. Enterprise Vulcan zombies. That's one of my favorites.
Wrong show.
Still good though.
It was. It definitely was.
Yeah, you guys have to tell me the chat, because I can't see the chat on my phone right now.
Enterprise Eve. Yes, girl. That was my show. Anyhow, go ahead. Number, should we go on?
Okay, number nine. For the Uniform, season 5, episode 13. Cisco obsessively pursues Maquis leader Michael Eddington. Okay, I love this one too. It just wasn't happening. It just wasn't far up on my list, but it was on my list. Why was it far up on the list for you guys who put it up there?
Who voted for this one? You, me, Fran?
Yeah, we did. I voted because Cisco was badass.
Hey.
He just like, oh wow. And then the little blurb at the end when he said, and when Dax asked him, well, did you clear this with, stuff, with the fact, he was like, oh, I knew I forgot something. However, he got Eddington. He was just, did what he does, only more magnificently so. I loved it.
What about you, Sabrina?
Well, I think in this one, Cisco is amazing. I mean, I think this is an amazing performance by Avery Brooks, as if they're not all. And the trend, if somebody said, is there a trend of like, yeah, every time Cisco is the main guy, it's one of my favorites, except for Empok Nor. But he starts this one out truly getting whipped by Eddington. He is just mad. He is just freaking out his mind. Then he just goes like, I'm going to get this woo, baby. And I'm like, oh, I'm there for the ride. I was like, oh, you just did the wrong thing, Eddington. And then my favorite line in this one, though, and I think it's in this one, is when Odo comes up and says, would you please remind Starfleet that this is the man that you had?
Oh, my God.
Because you didn't trust me.
Right?
Yes.
I said, okay, even Odo's getting some smacks in. This was
That's right. Through shade. I mean, just shaded him.
Yeah.
And Starfleet.
Yeah. Yeah. I had this was on my honorable mentions, but I had some other episodes that edged it out. And God, it was so hard. Like, I don't really know why, I really love this episode. I watch it every time. But, Yvette, this one wasn't on your list, was it?
At all.
Right. Because you have a Maquis issue.
Okay, here we go with the
I do not like the Maquis. I don't like anything about them. I didn't like them in TNG. I don't like them.
There you have it. Yvette does not like the Maquis. Yvette has a Maquis allergy, and it's a shame.
That's okay. I feel the same way about the Ferenginar.
There you go.
Okay, moving right along. Number 8. I love this one. Number 8 on the SyFy Sistas list is Second Skin, Season 3, Episode 5. Kira is kidnapped by the Cardassians, who try to convince her that she is really one of them. Can I just speak on this one? Because I love this episode. I mean, it came so early in DS9's life, It's such strong writing. It's such a beautiful character study for both Kira and, now I forget his name. The Cardassian man that she was playing opposite, who really believed that she was his daughter. I can't believe I forgot his name that fast, just like that. You guys in the chat, somebody in the chat knows.
I think his name was Gamora.
But it was just Kira. It really forced her to face her prejudices, and her preconceived notions. Now, granted, they weren't preconceived from nowhere. The Cardassians were terrible to her, and to her people. And she literally had to fight for their lives against them. So, it's not like she was just hating for hate's sake, or because she grew up with people telling her that these people were bad. She really, was a great, hi, Mohammed, was a great performance. So I just love this episode. I think she gave an amazing performance. I think it was so deep. I think she was forced to confront her own prejudices and start to gain a deeper understanding of coexisting with other people.
Right.
So it was very high up on my personal list.
However, she had the right to be prejudiced. They occupied her country and forced them into, slave labor and everything. So she had the right to feel the way she did.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Oh, okay. She had that right. Yeah.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
And Nana Visitor was outstanding.
She was
in this episode. Yes,
amazing.
She's always
I thought the scene where Nana was, but at 1 second she had that, there were 4 lights moment when she really thought for a second that maybe she was this, maybe she was this person. I lose it every time that scene comes on because she just you just know, like, maybe my mind, maybe everything I believe is not true.
Right.
And it's a very scary moment. And you get it in that scene with her. That's my favorite part. When she breaks down at that last scene, it's just like, wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then, of course, the cavalry comes and saves her, but then it's all okay.
Right. And it's over. And then it's over. Yvette, do you have any thoughts on Second Skin?
Not really. It wasn't on my list at all. But I think when we voted on it, I was like, oh, I don't know why didn't I remember that one? Because that's a great one, you know. But it wasn't one that stands out to me of all the other ones that I have. So it is a great episode. I love Kira in this. But I think I think is the reason why I probably didn't put this on is because I read a lot of the books and they really go in depth on Ileana Gamor. I think that's their last name.
Yeah.
Daughter so there's a lot of post Nemesis DS9 book novels that go on and on about her. I mean, she's a character for a lot of. So yeah, I think I probably got a little I was overwhelmed. I was like, no more. I'm good.
Okay.
Okay.
It's definitely a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving right along, rapidly, right along to number 7. Number 7 on our list, a little bit lighter, is Little Green Men, season 4, episode 8. A malfunction on Quark's new ship causes Quark, Rom, and Nog to crash in the year 1947 in Roswell, New Mexico. Love this one.
Even though I said I wasn't wild about Ferenginar, I like these Ferengis. I want to clarify before I start getting letters.
I love this episode. It's hilarious. You know, I mean, it's such a wonderful homage to all the early sci-fi movies. You know, I mean, to me, and you get to see these guys, you know, they just have so much fun together. So their chemistry is so wonderful that I can really just watch them the whole time. I love that they brought the hippie guy from TOS to play the general, Little Green. Yeah, me too, Muhammad. That was so cool. I didn't know that for years.
Man, everybody was in this. They really did it. And you know what? This is really interesting because you said that to me. This was a time whenever there was like an alien threat in the old movies, they would bring out the army and they were just going to bazooka the thing. Right. Now you got superheroes taking care of everything.
Waterworld, remember the army?
Yeah, remind me of yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hi Jill. Hi Eve. I couldn't read everybody's comments because they flashed on a little fast for me. But hi, thanks for joining us.
I wanted to know how these stars all felt about the fact that they all had to puff cigarettes through this whole episode. Like they were back in the 50s. It was choking me just watching this
thing.
They
probably all smoked back then. Remember, that was what, the 90s?
That was the 90s.
No,
they were all
that was the
40s. No, when the episode was made.
Okay.
Yeah, but they were supposed to be like they were in the 40s, so they was all smoking. It was horrible.
And of course, Quark wanted to really expound on that. He was telling me these people are crazy. You know, they eat this, they smoke these stocks, and say, oh man, we have a ball here. He was ready.
Quark was ready to do some business. He was
right. That's
just
right.
Suckers born all over this planet.
That's right. It was pure Ferengi, pure Ferengi right there. He was like, okay, right. new place, new business opportunities, baby. Let's roll with it.
You guys can make some money on the other end of the wormhole. I can definitely make some money on Earth.
Right?
In 1947.
Right. Who had this on their list?
I did.
Oh, I did.
You did. Okay.
I did not.
Yeah.
I did not.
Sure I did. I don't
So the I think 10 through 5 are ones that out of the 173 got 2 sisters to vote from the list of 45 down to 25 to 10 to arguing to 2 votes on the list. That's how it happens. So,
Yes.
so
It was painful, y'all.
It was.
Trust and believe this was a painful process, and I don't recommend it to anybody. I don't know. Hey, Bill.
Hey,
I don't know how those folks over at Trek Ranks do it, man, because it's difficult just doing one little list.
I know. We thought this is going to be, oh yeah, end of the year, Christmas time. This is the time for lists. This will be easy. We'll be done.
Yeah.
We worked on this for like 4 days and we're yelling and screaming.
Okay, we're going to keep it moving right along, speedily, rapidly, apace, right along. The Ship, number 6 is The Ship, season 5, episode 2. And Cisco fights to keep the wreckage of a crashed Jem'Hadar fighter. Holy Batman.
Yeah.
This was a good one.
Yeah.
It wasn't on my list, but it was still a good one.
Yeah.
Mine either.
On my list.
Yeah. It was on Sabrina and Yvette's list.
Woo!
So
yeah, baby. This is a humdinger, this one. I love this. I love this episode. I love them all. But this one had a lot of good stuff. I love the fact that they used the NCOs of Starfleet. I love that, being an NCO myself. I just loved it. I cried. I watched this morning, and I was actually, I know what's happened. I know what's going to happen. And I still was a little misty when Kike died. I was like, oh my gosh, and O'Brien, I was like, damn, can they stop telling O'Brien, I need you to do this, I need you to do that, I need you to fix this. That's what the NCOs do, like the officers are always telling us to fix stuff. I'm like, there's one of me, settle down, and that's just the way it was. It was like O'Brien, you saw the magic that he is, and how, everything, he has to fix everything. But he was still trying to deal with his soldier, his man, his man was down, and you don't leave your man down, but, everybody else had to be rescued also. And getting that ship would mean saving the Alpha Quadrant. So, 5 people died on that ship, plus the runabout crew, right? Didn't the runabout crew
got it?
Yeah, and then all the Jem'Hadar soldiers. So all those people died. Still, life's life. It's a deep one. I love this one. The fact that they're in that ship and all the concussion is going around them, and it's a lot. It's a lot. I really enjoy that one a lot.
Yeah.
I thought that was something that you don't usually see in a lot of these Star Trek. When they have a pew 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 scene, it's usually just for a few minutes. But these guys were enduring this for days. It was days that they were being shelled, and so I think that they really got that across to us, that they were sweaty, they were hot, they were getting short-tempered, they were getting on each other's nerves. And Worf put O'Brien in a chokehold. Okay, that's how bad this guy. He was trying to choke his stupid. Yeah. And again, one of my favorite scenes, Cisco dressing down everybody. Even Jadzia,
including Dax. Yep.
Told her it is, and nobody is laughing. Nobody's laughing. It's the best.
Oh, that's one of my favorite ones, because that made me feel like, how when your parents used to just shame you with that one line, you'd be like, I'm a badass, I'm cool, and then your parents would be like, just cut you that one. You're like, dang, you can't even pretend like it didn't cut, like it didn't hurt,
Right.
You wounded.
Yeah, exactly.
And so many new things were brought into this episode that you didn't know. It's a season 5, so stuff is getting hot now. And how did you know that that last line when he says about when they were watching Kike's body at the end, and he said, I hope this is all worth it. And then you come to realize that, when you watch it after the whole season is over, and you realize that, yes, this ship is going to be the thing that saves the whole day. Like, yes, Kike,
right.
Your death really meant something, man. You saved the whole freaking Alpha Quadrant with getting that ship. Oh my God, I'm going to cry. Okay, go to the next.
Yeah.
Go to the next.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, that's a good point, though. Because so many times, like all these, these we don't get a sense of was it worth it,
right?
But I love this one because it's definitely the needs of the many, outweigh the needs of the few or the one.
Yeah,
for sure.
For sure.
Okay, moving right along.
Please, I need something.
Yeah,
Is it a happy one?
I know, because now we start getting into this part was contentious, y'all. If you thought it was hard getting to the bottom half, we were scrapping over the top half. Just so you know.
I'm glad we weren't in the same room. Let's put it that way.
Well, and we did. I mean, I think we did a little bit more scrap. Oh no, it was half and half. We really did scrap a lot. Don't worry, this one. So at number 5, we have placed The Sound of Her Voice, season 6, episode 25. I know, another happy one. The Defiant receives a distress call from a Starfleet captain stranded on an inhospitable planet. I love this one.
Yeah.
But whose list? I didn't have it on my list though, but I love it. Who had it on their list?
Me.
I did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's you 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Everything about this from beginning to end is perfect. It's just perfect. It starts out with banter. It starts out at Quark's. Odo is doing his curmudgeon thing to Quark, and then all of a sudden Nerys comes in. He goes, Nerys, and he kind of goes off with Nerys, and they're like, well, what just happened? And then all of that nonsense happens with Quark and Odo. Odo ends up, paying Quark back for helping him out because, we all know that they're really good friends, even though they don't want anybody else to know. Right. And then we're on this ship, and there's a lot of contention between Ben and Cassidy, and I just love the banter. I watched it and I was like, wait, I know this by heart. I know the banter back and forth, and so it was a lot of that. It was a lot of everybody. Everybody was so included in this whole episode, and it was. Mm-hmm. It was a lot of background information given. It was a lot of personal information given, and it was the savior of it was somebody that we never even saw. It was the voice of this captain that was on this L-class planet, and they had to go get her. And she I think she saved our heroes,
yeah,
because they weren't getting any rest. It was war, and things could have turned out a lot differently if they didn't get this reprieve, this reprise. Somebody who said, "Okay, I need to listen to you," because she don't know nothing about them. She's an outsider, and they needed that. They really needed that. I never the scene when Miles is in his bunk. I mean, he's laying in his bunk like he's in a casket. Mm-hmm. So it was all about saving their mental health, saving their lives, because they're also scared about losing each other, that they're not really with each other anymore. Mm-hmm. And I understand that. This
was deep in the war. This is almost the end of season 6.
Yeah.
So they're exhausted. They've been fighting. They've been losing people, and
Yep.
I mean, it's just been really tough on all of them, and they're like you say, they're not working well together, and they're having problems with it. Even Cassidy's making comments about Bashir not being his jovial, talkative self, and Ben saying, I think I like him better this way. And then he says they were joking, and
that's mean.
Yeah,
I was just kidding. No, you weren't.
No, you weren't. And it's funny though, even though they're having this little sniff, going at each other, when he gets up to leave, he gives her his coffee.
He gives her his coffee.
And I just went, yeah, I'm mad at you, but here, baby, take my coffee. I gotta go. I'm like,
I still love you though.
She became the ship's counselor.
Yeah.
She was the ship's counselor. And at that point, they needed that.
Mm-hmm.
They really needed that.
Hey, Steve. Yeah, they needed it badly. And it was funny how they were saying that they didn't need it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's always the way, isn't it?
Yeah. It is.
Yeah. She called O'Brien out on that. She was like, well, if all you need are your friends, where are they?
Right.
Yeah, it's a beautiful one. I love it. And I love the fact that, because really what ended up happening was that they could focus by trying to be of service to somebody else.
Yeah.
It helped them become less focused inward and not self-centered in a negative way. Yeah, but
you're right.
And then, which really helped them to get by. Like, it feels like what's there's medical studies about what doing good does to you internally, physically,
right.
Yeah. And so I love that part too. On that one. Okay.
We get a race to the end. We're racing to get there. We're doing we're doing warp, 9.5. I'm loving it. The Defiant is shaking. It's good. It's a good one. Oh my God. They're going to blow the ship up trying to get there. Oh, save the phaser reserve. Cisco's like, damn the phaser reserve. We got to get to Cisco. Oh my God. We got to go get her. What?
Hey, Galinda. Hi, War Dog Heim. I missed you too. Okay, guys.
Love it.
Number 4.
Did it happen?
Not so much. Kinda, sorta, but heavy. Number 4. At number 4, I think a lot of people are going to be surprised that this is only number 4. They might have assumed that it would be higher on our list, but it's 4. And that is The Visitor, season 4, episode 3. After an accident in the engine room of the Defiant, apparently claims the life of Benjamin Sisko, Jake lives out his life in an endless quest to locate his father. This is, everybody knows, I've said it a million times. This is one of my all-time favorite shows, favorite episodes of any Trek ever. For me, it's Far Beyond the Stars, and this one are really close to 1 and 2 in my book. I love this show. I love this episode. I think it's just a beautiful episode, and I think the tenderness and the intimacy that we see between father, all iterations of son and father, is just melts my heart every time. I remember, like, this episode really helped me deal with the death of my father. And there's just so much to this episode. It's such a beautifully contained story. I could sing its praises like all day. Andrew Robinson's daughter, Rachel, did an amazing job. I thought, she brought like a part that didn't have, hey, Casey, a part that didn't have that much to do. She made it really tantalizing and hard to stop watching her. Just every moment of it. The only, I have one drawback on the episode, but that's, it's one little drawback. And that's just makeup. When they aged the characters looked a little hokey to me. Didn't look quite natural, and it sort of pulls me out a little bit. But come on, it's The Visitor. That's my take on it.
I ugly snot cry every time, and we all know what's going to happen. And when his dad is laying on the bed in the thing, and it's Jake, and he's there, and he just puts his head down, and I'm gonna stop because I don't want no snot running. I don't want my face to be all over.
Please don't do that.
Please don't.
Because
it's not the podcast.
I had this kind of a mixture relationship with my biological father. So it was every time I look at it, it is gut wrenching to me, and I cried.
It's too much. It's too much actually for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot.
And this is one of the episodes I wish to people who are non-Trekkies would
Gary T said it's too late. Okay. He says too late, Fran.
That's me. But, this is one of the episodes I wish the people who aren't Trekkies, especially Black folks who never knew there was such a dedicated father and son dynamic on this show, because they just dismissed it because it was Star Trek, right? Aliens and all that. I'm like, y'all had no idea in the 90s of this relationship between this single black man and his son.
Right.
You had no earthly idea this was going on. One of the best relationships ever on TV.
Right. And can I just go back? I'm sorry. Can I just go back really quickly to the sound of her voice? That was one of the things that we loved about the sound of her voice too, was that we found out that this captain was a black woman.
Yeah.
You know, and that was not lost on us. Right.
Right.
Of course, she's dead. You know,
Yeah.
she's dead.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't keep one alive until we got Burnham. Right. You know, every black woman captain dies.
Every single one.
Thanks, Trek. Every single one. It's a bad track record, buddies.
It might be one that's not. Maybe one.
Is she in a book?
No.
I mean, I haven't seen her on screen.
No, I don't think the Madge Sinclair didn't die the first time.
She made it on the whale one. She made it out.
Oh, that's true. Madge made it.
She died eventually, though.
She came back to her mom and they killed her.
Well, she was dead when we met her.
Right.
All right, we're gonna don't get on killing the sisters because we're gonna be here all day. Go on to
I know. Okay. Anyway, going back to the Visitor. Other thoughts on the Visitor, Sabrina?
I just want to give a shout out to Tony Todd. I love seeing him as himself, not in current makeup. He's such a great actor that I just love that he was
Starfleet captain.
Yeah, you're right, Bill. But we're talking Starfleet captains. Yeah.
Sorry, Kitty Cat. Did you watch this show?
When we met her.
Oh yeah, she was dead.
TNG.
Yeah, she was dead before we met her.
Yeah, that's a TNG line. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She sure was dead before we met her.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Tony Todd.
Okay. All right. And I'm looking at the time, so and we've got three big ones to get through. All right. So number 3, y'all. At number 3, we have Trials and Tribulations, season 5, episode 6. When temporal investigations arrives on Deep Space Nine, Sisko recounts how he and the crew of the Defiant traveled back in time to the 23rd century to prevent the assassination of Captain James T. Kirk during the original Enterprise's mission to Space Station K7. Baby, Trials and Tribulations. That's what I'm talking about.
Say something about this episode.
I want to say right now that I'm sorry that I did not vote for this one.
Don't even try it. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Now you want to come clean? Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. This was only a 3-turner, I believe, right?
It was only a 3-chair turn. Yeah.
I forgot what had happened.
You forgot what had happened? You forgot the masterpiece of filming that is Trials and Tribulations?
I kind of remembered some stuff, but then I watched it again after we voted, and I was like, dang, I should have voted for this one.
Mm-hmm.
You know what really gets me about this one? There's just a lot of triple, like tossing. There's triple tossing all through this. They just poor animals. I mean, aren't they allowed? Did somebody put a bomb in one? And I was like, what is this? Batman and the Joker? Like, what are you all doing? It's like, oh my God, it's like these poor tribbles. And then the Klingons were supposedly obliterated the home world. I listened to this one the other day and I was like, I didn't realize it was this awful towards tribbles.
So this is Eve's top pick.
Triple tossing, yes, it's the thing.
So I think we all agree that this episode, although it had tribbles, because tribbles are always going to be great, people are always going to love tribbles, but the masterpiece that was this episode, I think that's what Sabrina was saying, how she kind of forgot about it. And when she watched it, she was like, wow, I know we were talking about it. She goes, I cannot believe I forgot about this episode.
Mm-hmm.
It is an absolute masterpiece.
Yes,
it is.
Because there is no scene, it's seamless. You think you are watching that episode clean. Like it's not from an earlier 60s episode and they put it on a 90s episode. It just seems like this is something that they had just, they put together. I think knowing that, and I think this was for the 30th. What was this for the 30th season?
I think so. It was one, yeah, according to the oh my gosh, the companion book for DS9. I cannot remember what sent, but it was a milestone episode, milestone year for Trek, and they decided to do this.
Right.
Yeah.
So I the production was, as Eve, I agree with Eve, a masterpiece.
Yeah.
I thought it was really funny that if you compare these people going back to the Enterprise, which they love, and they're all gaga over the whole thing, but they really don't know a lot of the details of this particular mission, or they don't know what really happened, and they can't even really identify Kirk. I mean, O'Brien is like thinking Chekhov is Kirk. They're like, what?
Yeah.
I thought Nod did a lot better job on Little Green Men after he just read the little Earth Handbook for 1 second. Information than these fools had when they went back. I was like, well, how do you not know which one is Kirk?
Right. Come on. But it was so good. So good. And I think I like that so much that I actually always go back and watch the original Tribbles. And I think about this one instead of watching that and think about the first one. I don't know if that makes sense. I always think, when I watch, I'm like, oh, let me watch the original, But I always think about Trials and Tribulations when I think about Tribbles. This is probably my favorite. I guess this is my favorite Tribbles episode. Yes, because the Short Treks one is kind of leading in there as number 2.
They're eating them. What is with the Tribble hate? I'm like ASPCA in this people.
I personally would not ever want to eat a Tribble.
No.
No. I like my Tribble from Science Division, and Peanut Hamper and I cuddle all the time. And so there you have it. Yes, her name is Peanut Hamper. Okay.
So, Science Division. Hey.
Yeah, we love you guys. All right, so number 2, here we go. Back to the Sob Factory. Far Beyond the Stars, season 6, episode 13. Experiencing a vision from the prophets, Sisko sees himself as Benny Russell, a science fiction writer in the 1950s who struggles with civil rights and inequality when he writes the story of Captain Benjamin Sisko, a Black commander of a futuristic space station.
Sorry.
There are no words. There are no words for this episode for me.
Brother Benny.
On my list, this episode is number 1. And yeah. Hi, Justin. I'm gonna pass it off really quickly. I'm sorry to be so unprofessional, but I've had technical difficulties and I've had to resort to using my phone, and my battery's about to die and I need a charger. I shall return. Discuss amongst yourselves.
Yes.
Well, this episode for me hit a little too close to home. It is actually painful for me to watch because, as being who I am and the age that I am and where I live and born and raised, I remember as a little girl getting on the bus with my guardian, and she says to me, "Whenever you get on the bus, go to the back of the bus." I was about 4 or 5 years old, and I remember that. So this is too close for me to vote it as number 1. It's an excellent episode. I just can't watch it. I can't because you all have no idea. Even as a 5-year-old, 4 or 5-year-old, I question that in my head. Why do we have to go to the back of the bus? But of course, I couldn't ask my guardian that because I probably would have been slapped or something. But it's too close. It's too painful. Too real. That's it.
Yeah, and I think that's
get that.
Why. Yeah, I think for all of us, even I'm just a little bit younger, just a shade too younger than you are. So I know what you're talking about because a lot of the stuff that's in this is not the distant past that it appears to be in Deep Space Nine. It's within our lifetime. This is our lifetime that this stuff was happening. So it is really close for some of us that are over 60. All us TOS people, who know that the science fiction was just like something that Black people didn't do, read, have. What are you talking about? And so, you know, it was a big deal. And this story is something else, and it's done so well. And again, it has that idea of what's real and what's not real.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what's imaginary and who's the real person in this. And I just love that last twist of the knife at the end where it's like, is Benny real?
Right.
or,
right.
You know, or is Deep Space Nine real? It's just a great episode. And I love that they brought Joe Sisko back for a role in this. And, you know, everybody was out of their makeup so we could see these actors playing a different role. It was just phenomenal to see that. I just really love it when they can get out of the makeup and do their thing. I love seeing Odo as the publisher or the manager of The Office, not the publisher. But it was just great, and they nailed the time period. And I agree with you, Bill. This one deserved an Emmy. It should have been. This again, as Fran said, often ignored because it's science fiction, because it's Star Trek, and people just poo-poo it. But this is one that should have been looked at.
So I didn't like Fran. I mean, Fran and our ages are different, but also like Fran, I can't watch this episode. It's just not something that I want. I think it's a great episode. I think it's done well. I think the acting is wonderful, but it's not an episode that I enjoy watching. When we, like Samia and I, when we were growing up, we might not have experienced this every day, but my God, every time we turned on the television, there was some television show telling us about what, dramatizing all of this. After a while, I don't know about you, but I don't want to see this anymore. I know it's there. I know what happened. I have family like Fran and Sabrina who had to go through this. And it's sometimes it's very difficult. We were a race of people who are traumatized constantly by the things that happen to us. And although this is an excellent, and don't get me wrong, it is an excellent episode. And that's why it is at number 2. But it is not an episode that I will watch. I can't. It brings up too much, and it is not the far distant past. This is something that is happening on a regular.
It's happening now, every day.
Right
still,
now. So,
still, that's what's so hurtful.
Yeah.
Only it's recorded now.
Well, yeah. That's
sometimes.
Sometimes.
It's happening now, and this episode is a difficult episode, but I try to watch it as many times as I can. I just can't watch it all the time, but I would be lying if I didn't say it was the most important episode to me.
Oh yeah.
Personally.
Well, I think that's why it's number 2. It's difficult, but it is number 2.
It would have been. Yeah. Okay, so are we ready for number 1?
Yes. All right.
Are you guys ready for number 1? The SyFy Sistas.
Anybody have
only one?
Anybody have
73 episodes.
Oh yeah, let's see if anybody has a guess out there before we.
Anybody got a guess?
Any guess? We got
what episode got all 4 sisters to vote? Yes. This is
drum roll, please. Did you get any guesses? Number 1, SyFy Sistas Deep Space Nine episode. Yep, DJ Kitty Cat in the Pale Moonlight.
Yep,
you got it.
You got it.
Season 6, episode 19, with mounting losses in the Federation Dominion War and the specter of defeat, Captain Sisko enlists Garrick's help to persuade the Romulans to join the Federation Klingon alliance to win the war. However, Sisko soon learns that to save the Federation, he may have to betray the values it stands for. I don't even know what to say. I'm saying I can handle it. I'm saying I can handle it. And I mean I can handle it. And I think I can handle it.
And here we go again with self-help and therapy. And he's like, all I need to do is talk to my personal log. I'm gonna erase this shit and I'm good to go. I was like, boom, yeah, that's my captain.
Work it all out.
Shake it off.
I wish I. Oh, here's my glass.
It's the face.
Exactly. Everything
Cisco
about it.
bribing, lying, punching people. He's
Killing.
doing everything in this, and he does not care. I love it. When he sat down in the chair at the end, turned to the side, crossed his leg, threw his arm over the back of the chair, and said, "And I can live with it." I was like, yes, baby. Oh,
That's right.
Warrior Cisco.
Yeah, it is a dark episode. It's such a real episode. I mean, I love that
Real.
episode because it's like, how do we maintain the peace that the Federation is supposed to bring, right? You know, the things that we have to do. And of course, because it speaks directly to us as Americans who have for years, for generations, been the quote unquote peacekeepers around the world, you know. What do we do to maintain this peace? What do we have to do to maintain our democracy and our way of life, quote unquote,
Garrett,
quote unquote? Oh, I missed
Emily,
that one.
Garrett,
Yes, Garrett all over the place.
He was Garrett all over the place.
Yes, he did. Yes,
He
he
called
did.
him out. He said, "You asked me because you knew I would do the things that
You
you
do it.
couldn't do."
Right.
Baby,
Right.
yes. Oh my
Even
God.
Quark got some men. He was like, "I like you, human."
Mhm.
I knew it. Every man has his price, man. Oof.
Everybody was doing their, that piece of themselves that comes out only in war. Like, what I've got to do. Like, do you have it? Do you have the guts to do it? And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna get this done. This war's gonna be over. I'm gonna bring them in.
Right.
Like, wow. And I love that it's the Romulans, our oldest enemy in Star Trek.
Enemies, yes.
Yep, our oldest. Yep.
Being Romulan.
And here come
Right.
the Romulans.
Yeah, we don't have to do anything. All you have to do is be your mistrustful Romulan self.
So,
That's all you have to do. Okay, we're almost out of time, but before we go, I just want to know, one of two questions. Which episode of yours that you wanted, that was on your list, that didn't make our list, are you the most disappointed didn't make our list?
In the Pale Moonlight. I'm sorry. It's a paper moon.
Uh-huh.
It's
It's only a paper moon.
Favor of the bold.
Explorers.
Oh, yeah, I love that one. Mine was Duet.
Another good one.
Duet. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
You
of
guys
them
wanna-
got a one vote.
There's one.
Do you guys want to do your list? We have
Oh,
time.
girl.
Yeah. There's one that I forgot really quick. I
that's my
forgot
list
one.
now. No, I don't want to do my list.
No,
Can't do my list.
there's one that our list, we're going to post them on
Yes.
Sure, Jill, vote on the mothership. Let's put it in the mothership. And there's one that I forgot that. Remember the one where Miles was imprisoned, but he was and they
Hard Time.
Hard Time. Oh my! I can't believe I meant to put that on my list.
That's
Yeah.
a hard one for me to watch.
It's hard, but it's amazing.
I know these other ones. That one really gets me so depressed for O'Brien that I can't even deal with that one. Even though, Empok Nor is close because he's really getting into his old Setlet 3 self there.
Love you too, Bill.
Miles must suffer.
4 miles. Yeah.
Yeah, poor Miles. Yes, DJ Kitty Cat. We could put it on for a poll day, and everybody can weigh in their top 10s.
Ooh, I don't know if we got enough space in the poll, but
I know, right? We're gonna break Facebook with that one.
Options we end up with that.
But we will post our own individual lists on SyFySistas.com. So look for us on that. And everybody, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a really fantastic show. This has been, just a lot of fun to sit here and chat about this with you guys. So
Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment.
And don't forget to, this is all a family thing. And if you're new to us, and if you haven't seen the 7th rule or participated in the 7th rule in the chat pack, come join the family. And also also is important, come support Trek Geeks Network, which we are proud members of. Trek Geeks rocks, and talk about the most positive fan base. We got two of the most positive fan bases for Star Trek in Trek Geeks Network, in Camp Kittimer, and the Seventh Rule and the Chat Pack. I mean, we couldn't be happier to have found our homes in both of these places. And maybe you will too. So thanks, everybody. Reach out to us, the SyFy Sistas Book Club or the Mothership on Facebook. And we love you. And peace, love, and hair grease, my friends.